Okay, welcome everybody. This is Daf Samach, the eighth parak. So we spoke. The last couple of daf was mamish a side subject as far as the Mishnayos go about gidulim, and just to summarize it, it comes out very. I think to take out the essence of what the Gemara is saying, Pshat in our Mishnah, is like a search through the haystack to figure out what the Gemara was saying about our Mishnah. To zoom in, it's very camouflage in Sugya. The Mishnah says that even when he only answered the eating, Shani Toem, Shani Ochel, and only the actual thing is Asa, so then he did not answer the Gedulim. But if it's a Davar Shein Zawar Kola, if there's like something that doesn't disintegrate like an onion, so then the Gedulim are Asa. Even though you only asked it in eating, everything becomes asa because the gedulim are asa. That's the Mishnah. And you can learn the Mishnah very simply, that the gedulim are asa because it's part of the thing. But the Gemara doesn't, it's the actual thing. But the Gemara doesn't even entertain such a possibility. And it comes out that the gedulim really should be mutter. Why the gedulim asa? Because the ikar is still there. And the ikar, either you call that as tam, or that is mitpashet. And that's the reason that gedulim are asa. But let the Gedulim, once they become the Rov, let them be Mabatel the Iker. So for that, we have two shittas. Those who say that it doesn't, Gedulim don't answer the Iker. And Rabbi Yana, who says that the Gedulim do answer the Iker, you have to say the reason about Mishnah is because a Neder is a Tavash Yesh Matirin, because it's a mitzvah to be shol on the Neder. It's mamash middle of the sugi, middle of the three daf. You get the pshat in our Mishnah. There are two pshatim in our Mishnah, either because Gedulim are not matir the Iker, or because it's davar sheish lo material. Very fascinating. Let's find that in the middle of the whole sugya. The next Mishnah, next parak, konim yain. So we spoke about a lot of Mishnahs, what certain terms are referring to, time and place. And here it talks about not the thing that he's answering, not the yayin, but till when is he answering it? And the Mishnah has a series, two series of time expressions. Konim yain shani tom hayom. He said, I'm answering a wine on myself today. What does the word today mean? And also, it's also till the night. The day is over from the time that he said it, that he said that he's answering until nightfall. And so too, Shabbazu, if he answered it for this week, also B'chala Shabbos, he's answered till the end of the week. You don't say that he's answered. The contrast is going to be sometimes he answers himself for a day, it means 24 hours. Till the same time tomorrow, or for a week is going to mean the same time this week. But these expressions don't mean for a day, for a week, for a month. It means today, this week, this month. So it's very, we would all talk the same way. If he said, I'm answering myself for a week, he's us until the end of the week. The Shabbos Sha'obra or Shabbos L'Sha'obra, that the Shabbos is part of this week. Means this when is the week over? No, Shabbos Sha'obra is explaining that Shabbos also is part of this week. When I say I'm also for this week, is it over on Friday, or is it over on Shabbos? What's the Shabbos? So it says Zasam was a Shabbos because Shabbos also is included part of this week. In contrast to the next case.
So if he says it on Wednesday, he goes to the next Wednesday.
No, he's also Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. And right. How about if he said this month, Chodesh Zeh, also b'chol Chodesh, he's also only for this month, not a full 30 days. He's only also till the end of the month. How about Rosh Chodesh? Is Rosh Chodesh considered part of this month or part of the next month?
It's a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, first day.
So that's right. So it doesn't say that. It says Rosh Chodesh Lavo. Rosh Chodesh is considered the following month. Shabbos is considered part of the past week, and Rosh Chodesh is considered part of the next month. So he wouldn't be us on Rosh Chodesh. And Moshe is asking that on a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, so the first day of Rosh Chodesh is the 30th day of the previous month.
Rosh Chodesh is part of the answer.
Part of the psak. Same pattern as the line before. That Shabbos, by a case of Shabbos, Shabbos in, and here Rosh Chodesh is not the part of the past month, but Rosh Chodesh is part of the next month, part of the psak. So Moshe is asking that by a case of a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, the first day of Rosh Chodesh is the 30th day of the previous month, so maybe it's part of the previous month. So the Gemara might discuss that. How about if he said this year, Shana Zu, also B'chol Shana? He's also for this year, rest of this year, not next year, not a full year. He's also till the end of this year. How about Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah Rosh Hashanah is considered the next year. And how about if he said Shavua? Shavua in our language is
Rosh Hashanah last seed is part of the.
Yeah, the same thing. Right. Same as the pattern of before, Shabbos.
When you
It's
say, what
Chodesh, Rosh
what
Hashanah.
about Rosh Hashanah? But
It's
you-
not considered, it's not us on Rosh Hashanah anymore because Rosh Hashanah is part of the next year. Rosh Hashanah is lost at level. Rosh Hashanah
He
is,
says Shana, Zu.
that's all he said. If you look on the screen, you just see what he said. He said Hayom, he said
Yeah,
Shabbos,
yeah,
he
I
said,
see.
okay, so what's the
Shana Zu.
problem? So he said Shana Zu. So the psak is, he's also for the whole year and Rosh Hashanah is the next year.
For Rosh Hashanah, Lassi means it's not, I see, it's not.
It's not part of this year.
uh,
When it comes Kiddush, whatever, Kiddush of Rosh Hashanah, he's already mutter. He was asking himself on Yayin, he's allowed to make Kiddush on Rosh Hashanah because it's not anymore that year. It's the next year already. How about Shavua Zeh? Shavua in our language means a week, but it doesn't, in the Gemara's language, it means a 7-year cycle. And it means till the end of the Shemitah cycle. Shavua Zeh, this Shemitah cycle. So till when is he also? Also b'chol Shavua. He's also till the end of the Shemitah cycle. Not a full 7 years. He's also till the end of wherever he's holding. He's only holding by the 3rd year. And he said Shavua Zeh, he means till the end of the Shemitah cycle. How about Shemitah year? It's the year 7. Is that part of this Shavua or not? Shvius Shavua. Shvius is considered part of the past Shemitah cycle. Very simple. I think we would agree mostly that in our language also the same thing. If they say
Shavua means a 7-year cycle, and the Shavis year was the past.
it's
one, so
it's
not-
part of the 7th year is part of that Shemitah cycle.
Shavis Shavra.
If you want to
How
change
come
it, you
with
can change it to
Rosh
the
Hashanah,
Tava.
It seems like in the one that's coming to go would be to include it there. Are you saying Shavis is included?
Yes,
No, it seems like it shouldn't be included. Shavis Shavra is not part of this one, it'd be the next Shavis, is the 7th year.
it means
is part of this
it means it's part of the
7-year
past one. Shvius Shav means it's part of the past one. If you want to change the word, you can change it before also by
cycle. Well,
Shabbos.
then Rosh Hashanah would be on the one coming up, will be part of this year. No, it can't be, I guess.
I'm not sure how you're reading it, but by Shabbos you agree when someone says to the end of the week, he means Shabbos also. Shabbos is part of the weekend.
So
Not
since there's
that-
something in the future, we're gonna add on to it. Oh, okay, in
The
this
end,
case,
the last day is a Shabbos, so that's included part of this week. When I say this week, I include Shabbos.
Yeah.
When I say this Shemitah, I include Shemitah.
but this says Shavra.
That's what it means. That Shabbos, it says Shabbos Shavra also. You look up before, I also said the same words. Shabbos Shavra meant to say that Shabbos is part of the past week. Which past week? The week that I just finished talking about. I said this week, it includes the end, when it comes to the end of, when it comes to Shabbos, it's part of this past week that I was talking about. Not last week, this week. If you don't like the word, so change it to Lisha Ova. That Shabbos is considered part of the past week.
I see, and Shavis the same thing. We're talking about the Shavis that's gonna come up.
Right.
Because
He's holding now in the 4th year of the Shemitah cycle. He
and the
says this
7th year
Shemitah,
is included.
4, 5, 6, 7. You don't say that Shemitah is the beginning of the next cycle. So that's nice. Today, this week, this month, this year, this Shemitah cycle.
We still talk like this.
We still talk this way, right? How about if you said, in
When we
contrast,
say Shemitah, usually you mean only the year of Shemitah itself.
we don't have a word to call a Shemitah cycle. We don't have the
That's
Shavua.
the
Yeah, we don't have that word. We don't have the word. We don't have a Shemitah cycle. But if you say Shemitah cycle, okay.
Yeah.
Then you say
I just make-
till the end of the Shemitah, till the end of this Shemitah cycle,
Would include
So you'd
the
include-
7th year.
you wouldn't mean 7 years. We'll be holding till the end of the Shemitah cycle, and the Shemitah is part of the Shemitah cycle. We don't work in 7-year cycles. And how about in the contrast, all these things, instead of saying today, this week, this month, this year, this Shemitah cycle, you said 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 Shemitah cycle. Then Asam Yom Liyom. Then you don't just go till the end of the day. Then Yom Echad will mean 24 hours till tomorrow at the same time. And if you said this week, it means till, if today's Friday, so you mean 1 week means till next Friday. 1 month means till the same date next month. If it's going to be Chavtes Kislev, you say 1 month. It's out until Chavtes Teves. Shana Achas is 1 year, means the next year the same date. Shavua Echad, the Shemitah cycle is going to mean also 7 years the same day, and that's called Yom Liyom. Also, that's the way we talk. Also, really, we should stop here and skip the next 4 lines because nothing to do with our Mishnah. The printer should have printed it in the next Mishnah, but we'll read it anyway. Someone said, "I'm answering myself until Pesach." What does that mean? Pesach included? Or not?
Pesach, no, Pesach wouldn't be.
Aser Ashi Yagia. It's only Aser until Pesach comes. Once Pesach comes, you're ready. Pesach has arrived. How about if he said until it's going to be Pesach?
Actually,
Ashi Pesach.
It's actually this.
Okay, I don't know if people talk that way,
No.
but if you say till it's going to be Pesach, also actually then it's also till the end of Pesach because it's being Pesach as it is also. How about if we don't, this next one we surely don't have. They changed the word to ad lefnei till ad penei Pesach, until the face of Pesach. This Pesach, we don't talk that way. But if there be such a word, so what does that mean? Which side of Pesach? Does it mean the beginning side of Pesach or till the end side of Pesach? But Meir Omer till the beginning, Pesach is not included. It meant the front side of Pesach.
Yeah,
Rabbi Yosef Amar said because he meant till the other side of Pesach, till the end side of Pesach. So we don't need this Mishnah now because it's not our subject. Okay, good Mishnah. Everything's a good Mishnah. So here it says that there's difference between today and one day, this week or 1 week. Very good. So the first case, what did it say? Just to contrast the Hayom and the Yom Echad. Hayom meant only till nightfall, but Yom Echad meant a whole 24-hour period. So the more it says a chiddush. Konem yain shani tom is only yaser the shetechshach amri Rabbi Yirmiyah. They say Rabbi Yirmiyah is going to say soon. The kishetechshach tzarich sheila lechacham. According to our Mishnah, you read the Mishnah, it sounds like that at night is very mutter. He said, I must to drink wine today. Let's say today is Friday. It's nice example. Now it's Friday, and someone says, so at night, kiddush is very allowed to drink. But Rabbi Yirmiyah says that we should make gzeira. That even though the Mishnah sounds that it's mutter, but we should make gzeira. The Rosh says that he's not saying shot in the Mishnah. He's just saying his own gzeira. That at night he shouldn't just drink the wine. He should be mataneh there. Why? He only said today, and today means that today's already over by night. Because since my time, Rabbi Yosef, because in the other case of the Mishnah, when he says one day, it is also for 24 hours, and someone might confuse the two, and he might think that Hayom and Yom Echad is the same thing, and when it's going to come Yom Echad, he's also going to say it's mutter only till the night, mutter at night, it's only also till the night. So make it gzeira, and even by Hayom, also say that it's also for 24 hours. But not mamash say that it's also for 24 hours, do ataros nedarim. During the day, don't drink wine. At night, really allowed to drink wine, but do ataros nedarim, because someone might make a mistake and think that Yom Echad is also going to be the same din, and he's going to think that he's mutter to drink wine at night. So be mataneh that they should clarify it. Maybe he'll come to the Rav, and the Rav will ask what's the Torah about, and he'll ask him, did he say Hayom? Did he say Yom Echad? So because there's a possible confusion, so even when you said Hayom, and really you're mutter to drink at night, but do a Torah Sibara. The more the Kasha Namud Beis. Amalei have to put somebody in. Amalei Abaye, they put Abaye. Abaye said to Rav Yosef, Ihaki ligza biyom echad mishum hayom. Make exer the opposite also. You make exer that when you said hayom, you also even you should be mataneg at night because it's confusing with yom echad. So the opposite also. When it was yom echad and he's also for 24 hours, you should make exer because of hayom. So that's a difficult kasha. What does that mean? What are you supposed to do? You asked him for 24 hours. What could you do more? He's asked for 24 hours. So the Rosh says, maybe ask him until the end of the day.
The nightfall, since you said you have to wait till nightfall. So.
Right, but the real is very different because you have to wait till nightfall of today. When you say Hayom, also till nightfall of today. When you say Yom Echad, you're also till 24 hours from now until tomorrow, this time, 11:15 tomorrow. So now what's the kasha going to be? They say he's also until the night.
He's out for 24 hours, and let's say you did it at 12 o'clock in the noon, and people see that he made a neder, and they'll think you have to wait till nightfall.
Come when? On the day that
They'll
he said
get
the neder?
confused, and they'll think he has to wait till nightfall. So
On the day, on which day? On the day? On which day? On which day?
Following day,
On the
of course.
following day. Why should they think he didn't make the neder yesterday? He made the neder today. He made the neder.
He made it yesterday.
Right, then yes, so why should they think that he has to be also?
Because they see he made a neder and he's not allowed.
Because
to
he's
do
not
it.
drinking.
Yeah. So
Okay.
how can
Okay.
you don't like it?
I think Mar's not gonna like it, but the question is, the question is, the question is, what is the Havamim?
Yeah.
The question was the Havamim.
The Havamim.
I hear the.
Okay.
The Havamim is, when you say, when you make a neder, you have to wait till it gets dark. Oh, you didn't wait till it gets dark? You're in the neder, how could you? Okay.
So the case is that he made a
If he can
neder in the
explain
middle
this,
of the
then why
day.
couldn't he explain the other way? My neder was just for today, it wasn't for 24 hours. He could say that too. If you're gonna explain, I made the yet neder yet.
No, you understand when a person, before the one made sense, the more was simple before, that when a person says, Hayom, and he's really usher only till the night, but there's another person who's gonna say one day.
I heard you, and it sounds like 24 hours.
No, the person that's not the person who really said Yom Echad is going to think that it's also He said Hayom and he's only also till the night. I said Yom Echad is the same thing. He
Oh,
will
he's gonna.
confuse- the one who says Yom Echad is going to make a mistake and only do it till nightfall. Really, he's also for 24 hours.
Oh, I thought it was that they're gonna look at him and think he did wrong. Okay, I see. Okay. He's gonna make a mistake when he does it.
When someone is going to do someone else might see him and then do Yom Echad and say there's no difference. The Yom Echad person, when a person is going to say one day really is us 24 hours, he's going to think that he did it similar and he is only us until the night. So I'm also only us until the night. So we have to make that even the person who's really only us until the night, he's us for 24 hours. Now it's the opposite case, that a person who is us for 24 hours should be us more for some reason.
Till the end of the day.
Till the end of the second day. Means he made another
So instead of 24 hours, he's gonna go to 30
the
hours.
30.
Yeah.
Amalei hayom b'yom echad michlef, yom echad b'hayom lo michlef. It's only confusing one way, it's not confusing the other way. Why is that?
Like what you just said.
Like what I said.
Because
Because
you already learned the Gemara, so for you was a problem.
I didn't know, I didn't
I didn't
understand.
have a problem.
I didn't understand the question. I didn't understand the question. That's
Because I don't think it has to do with what the guy's gonna do, it's what he's gonna see, and he thinks that guy's making a mistake.
Oh,
like Marasayan kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the
You
case
made
over
a
here?
header and you're drinking before nightfall, how can you do that?
Why is the Gemara not concerned? In Maskana, why is the Gemara not concerned when somebody made a nether for 24 hours that we don't answer him until the night?
So people know that the Yom Echad is not gonna be more than 24 hours. Might be less than 24 hours, might be till nightfall, but it's not gonna be more than 24 hours. Yom Echad is not gonna be more than 24 hours.
Okay. So that was that Gemara. That it made a Gzera, even though the Mishnah says that by today he's only also until nightfall, they made a Gzera to make Mataneder after nightfall in order to drink wine, because Yom Echad is also. Ravina, Hachi Yamar Avuch Mishmei Rav Yosef. Ravina said that Merema told me, so said your father, I guess Ravina's father. Merema was telling Ravina what his father had said in the name of Rav Yosef. Come on, Naz the Hashmait of Rav Yirmiyah Rabba. The Gemara, Rav Yirmiyah Rabba is the one who just said this Gezerah. It means that we had Rav Yirmiyah and Amarav said Rav Yirmiyah, but they changed it to Rav Yirmiyah Rabba because our Gemara calls him Rav Yirmiyah Rabba. I mean, Rav Yirmiyah Rabba, as you see in Amud Beis. So, Rav Yirmiyah, the reason for Rav Yirmiyah Rabba, your father said the reason of Rav Yirmiyah Rabba is because come on, Nazla, Hashmai to the Rav Yirmiyah Rabba, Krabi Nasan. You know Rav Nasan already. The Tanya Rav Nasan Nomer Kala no the Kilo Bana Bama, Vamakaimu Kilo Makte Allah. The Dharma not good. Anybody makes a nether is like he built a Bama, and anybody that fulfills the nether is like he was Makte a carbon on it. So therefore, even if he made a nether, be Mata nether. What's he saying? So therefore, this person who means we don't like the Dharma. We want to get rid of the stop the Dharma. And if someone made a nether, he should be Mata nether. That's why we tell him that this person, after his net is really over, this very strange thing. This person's net is really over. He made a nether. He said, I'm not going to drink wine today. He didn't drink wine the whole day. Now it's nightfall. He's allowed to drink wine. We're going to say you shouldn't have made a nether. And if you made a nether, you shouldn't have fulfilled it. He says, I fulfilled it. Be Mata nether for the purpose. So the Rosh says you can't take the more literally, because then every nether, if it makes such a knas, that we make someone be Mata nether after the nether is over, so then every nether you should do that. Every nether you should say after you finish your nether, you should be Mata nether in order to show you shouldn't have made a nether. And also it's a little strange after the nether is over.
Yeah.
So he says, of course it goes together with the Gzera. Of course it's a Gzera. I'm not saying it's not a Gzera. It is a Gzera. But the Gzera is like a far-fetched Gzera. We only make the Gzera because we don't like Nedarim and we put together like a knas to be Mata Nedarim. And even though the nether is over, we want to make an announcement. Don't keep your Nedarim. So whenever we have an opportunity, we're going to make Gzeras. It means it's easier to make Gzeras to be Mata Neder because we want to get people used to this thing. Don't do your Neder. Here he really did his Neder, but people will think that he didn't do his Neder yet. So be Mata Neder. Interesting combination of two things. But he's saying that the Gzera alone wouldn't be strong enough to make this Gzera on its own, only because we like very much to make Hataras Nedarim in order to get the Nedarim off, because I'm a kaimo kilo maktir Allah, that if you fulfill a Neder, it's like you brought on the bummer.
People, when he said Hayom, and people would get confused and think it meant Hayom Yom Echad.
That was the first Gemara, and therefore we tell them to be Mata Neder at night. Really, you wanted to drink already, but be Mata Neder because of a Gzera. That's the first Gemara. Now the Gemara adds on that this Gzera that you just said is not such a strong Gzera to really act upon it and make such a Gzera that you have to be Mata Neder. But the reason we do it is because we don't like people to make Nedarim, and we like to be Mata Neder if they did. So whenever we have an opportunity,
For the Gezerah.
yeah, well, easy to make. We're easy on the trigger. Very easy to make gezeres, even though here also this knas is like a very strange knas because it's a knas after the fact. He made the neder. If the reason is because he might think that his neder continues like a real gezerah, so he made mataned. He should be able to drink wine at night. But here it's saying that we want to take off the neder because it's not good to make the doorman fulfill them. This person did fulfill them. He made a neder not to drink wine till tonight, and he didn't drink wine till tonight. And now we tell him to be mataned after he finished already, after he finished his neder. And now we tell him that it shouldn't continue. It's a strange combination of this kind of gezerah.
I see, and this is on the name of Rav Yosef. So Rav Yosef is trying to explain when he said it's a gezerah. Why
In combination, right. In combination with this reason to be mataned. The Mishnah said Shabbos zu asa b'chol Shabbos. Here it says kula. It doesn't say in the Mishnah kol Shabbos kula. It says b'chol Shabbos for Shabbos l'sha'ava. And I think that this kula is like to say all the ways b'chulu, etc. Shabbos zu asa b'chol Shabbos, etc. The word kula doesn't mean the whole Shabbos, it means that Shabbos, and it really is going on, etc. It's going on the next words. The next words say, and Shabbos is part of the previous week. On that, the Gemara says pshita. Of course, Shabbos is part of the previous week. Everyone knows that Shabbos is the end of the week. The calendar doesn't start with Shabbos. The calendar starts with Sunday. Shabbos is, and everyone knows, especially the Jews, that that's called the seventh day. Of course, Shabbos is the end of the week. Ma'odatema Yomei the Shabbat to come. You're right. That's not the chiddush. The chiddush is not that Shabbos is part of the previous week. The chiddush is that Shabbos is aser b'chlal. You might have thought when a person says, "I'm not doing something this week," he only means the weekdays. That we also talk that way sometimes when we say something that has to do with work, and we say this week. Rabbi said, example in the business world, if you say it's only going to be in business days. If someone says, "Oh, the example you gave,
5 days to ship. 5 days to ship."
5 days to ship," they say it's shipping days, working days, business days.
Or 5 days.
Or the example about being learning also, if you say that I'm learning the whole week, what it means without Friday and Shabbos sometimes.
Whichever day you have your chavrusa.
Yeah, that's called, what are we doing this week, But it doesn't always mean Shabbos. So that's what the
Yom HaDeshav is the day of the week.
Days of the week, meaning
Days of the week.
oh, not the Shabbat, only the work days. Something's strange. It doesn't say, it should have said the Yom Echol, the weekdays. Yom Shabbat, that means the weekdays, how we would call the weekdays. We call it ourselves also. Even our English, we call the weekday. You don't call Shabbos a weekday.
Yeah, because
it's also a weekday.
I was thinking of Shabbos, but the English is no Shabbos, so you call it a weekday.
What are the going call a weekday? The word weekday is a Gaisha word. What does the word weekday mean?
Weekday opposed to the weekend.
What?
Weekday opposed to the weekend.
Weekday
Oh,
and
mamish.
the weekend.
So a weekday doesn't mean the weekend. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Why? So the end of the week is also a weekday. Very interesting.
Well, maybe
Because
we take it from
it's
the
weekday
workday.
because it's not Shabbos. So
Maybe it was
Yeah,
like
but by the
work-
going, why do they call it a weekday for?
why? Because it's not the weekend.
Maybe it came from workday and it ended up being weekday.
Geez. You're a genius.
Why you say?
Now, work and week are interchangeable. They really,
Except weekend doesn't mean work at all. Weekend means the end of the.
but the word weekday was really a work day, but they didn't pronounce it well. They didn't articulate it.
That's my type.
Finish it
But
today.
here it says it. It says Yom HaShabbat. That you
have
might
to have
think
some British.
Yeah.
Somebody-
you might think that he meant the weekdays only, which means the chulin, the chol. Kamashmon, that Shabbos. So there's no chiddush Shabbos at the end of the week. That's not a chiddush. Everyone knows Shabbos at the end of the week. You might have thought that he didn't include Shabbos at all. Not that Shabbos is part of the next week. That Shabbos not included is that Kamashmon Shabbos is also included. If someone said this week, he means also Shabbos.
Echad miyadeh is Shiva Yemei Shabbat.
You made Shabbat.
Doesn't
Yeah.
Shiva.
Chodesh there. What if so the Mishnah said Chodesh also b'chol Chodesh was Chodesh Labad. That when someone says this month, he's also the whole for the rest of the month, and Rosh Chodesh is not included. Rosh Chodesh is part of the next month.
Yeah.
Pshita that Rosh Chodesh is part of the next month. Ki Yisrich l'Chodesh. Now the Gemara says Ki Yisrich l'Chodesh Chassid. The Chodesh is by a Chodesh Chassid. We know that in the Jewish calendar you have sometimes a 29-day month, sometimes a 30-day month. Chassid is 29 days, and Mali is a 30-day month. I'll say the Rosh Pshat. The Rosh Pshat is what Moshe was talking about. That when you have a
The
30,
Rosh Pshat?
what the Rosh is Pirush
Shot.
is what Moshe mentioned earlier. That when there's a 30-day month, so it's a big chiddush to say that Rosh Chodesh is part of the next month because it's really the 30th day of the present month.
Mhm.
So we might say that it's Asa. And the Rosh says that the Gemara is saying that even though it's the 30th day of the previous month, since it's called Rosh Chodesh, when people say I'm Asa this month, they don't mean Rosh Chodesh.
They don't mean that.
Now, the problem is with this pshat, it's a very nice pshat, but the Gemara seems to say the opposite. The Gemara says, you know what the Chiddush is for a Chodesh Chassan? A Chodesh Chassan. Chodesh Chassan means a 29-day month. And really the Rosh saying it means a 30th day month. Let's just read the Gemara without this word. Rosh Chodesh L'Shava. You might think in this case of a Chodesh Mole, of a 30-day month. You might think that the 30th day is considered part of the previous month. Below, and take out the word below. Vil Litzar, if they erase this. And it should be Yasser. Ve Litzar, and the 30th day, even though it's Rosh Chodesh, it should be considered part of the previous month, the Litzar. Kamash Malon, Kovin Shiva Sheyachal. The Chiddush is people call it Rosh Chodesh. Since they call the 30th day, they also call it Rosh Chodesh, and it is Rosh Chodesh. That's how people talk. So even though it's really the 30th day of the previous month, it's called Rosh Chodesh, and it's not part of the Neder.
I don't know. You erased.
I erased the low.
But I thought you said erase the chasser.
No, I just said hold it. We'll come back. We're not going to erase it. The low they erase, but the chaser they don't erase. So the question is that I said the whole shot as if it's a chodesh mole, and it says chaser over here. That's the problem. I didn't erase it. That's why we'll come back. Now we're coming back. The shot is very nice, and it comes out that even on the 30th and the 30th, also Rosh Chodesh is the coming month, even though it's really the 30th day. But the it says it's Chodesh Chaser. So I'll say the Rosh Hashanah. You might like it, you might not. He says Chodesh Chaser means it's Rosh Chodesh Chaser. It's the Rosh Chodesh, like this month. Rosh Chodesh Tevis is coming up. Rosh Chodesh is called Rosh Chodesh Chaser. Why? Because Tevis is going to be Chaser. Tevis is going to be 29 months. So you want to so when Tevis is 29 days. So Kislev this month is 30. The Gemara really means to say this month is 30, but the way he calls it is Rosh Chodesh of a Chaser month is another way of saying that this month is Molech. You wouldn't have said that.
That's how the Rosh says it.
The Rosh is explaining the Gemara. That the Gemara
Lechodesh Chaser means
that the Rosh Chodesh is the Rosh Chodesh of a Chodesh Chaser, which is not a point. The point is that this month is Molech. So it's pretty hard. I just point out
and that's true most of the time, not all the time.
right. It says most. So that's read the Russian side. It's very hard in the words. There are other pshatim, but this is what the Rishonim learn over here. We're in the Rush on the third wide line. The Rosh Chodesh shall Chodesh Chaser. Who the Itzrich? The Chivin the Chodesh Avo Chaser Nemshes Zehu Malay.
so a Rosh Chodesh of a Chodesh Chaser is always going to be 2 days.
Not always. Not always, but most of the time.
Always.
Shekain derech rov chadashim. Echad malay v'echad chaser.
What Cheshvan? Is that what they say?
I think that nowadays, in the old days, that they used to do it according to the moon. So then depends if it's cloudy or not, all kinds of things. But nowadays, I think besides which two, Cheshvan and Kislev might both be malay, both be chaser, something like that.
Oh. No, Kislev is always Molech.
I'm making a mistake.
Kislev has to be always Molech.
Why does it have to?
Because Hanukkah,
Why does it bother Hanukkah?
there's something.
Kislev Chesed is the Mola Chasa, both of them.
I thought
Cheshvan and
that-
Kislev.
Huh?
What's the problem if how does it affect Hanukkah? Hanukkah is 8 days no matter how you look at it. It starts on the 25th of Kislev,
I
goes for
thought
8
that
days.
months that had holidays in them are always,
I don't know.
except for Adar.
I don't know.
Okay.
The Chivin
Oh, so
Shezeh
sometimes
Moleh
Kislev could
V'Chodesh
be
Haba.
Chaser?
What?
Sometimes Kislev could be Chaser.
Dr. Fine, sometimes Kislev is Chaser.
Yes.
Here it says V'Chivin Shezeh Moleh V'Chodesh Haba U'Shnei Yamin. That's his point. That's what he says. That when you have a 30-day month, so and the 2 days of Rosh Chodesh, so the first day of Rosh Chodesh is the last day of the previous Chodesh. So you might have thought that it's not called. It is part of this month, Kamash B'lan, it's still called the next month. That's how the Rosh learns. There are other pshatim, but I guess that's the simple pshat that the Mephorshim learn. It's not so simple on the words, but the idea is okay. The next halacha. Now it says here next Gemara. It goes on these words of the Mishnah Shana Zu Asa B'Chol Hashana, etc. And Rosh Hashanah is part of the following year. But I don't see that the Gemara is going on this caption at all. So we could just skip the caption. And the Gemara talks about this title over here, Yom. Konim Shani Toim Yom. We had a Mishnah that said Hayom and Yom Echad. We had two choices about Yom. We had Hayom and Yom Echad. And we said Hayom is till the end of the day. Yom Echad is a 24-hour period. How about Yom? What does the word Yom mean? I don't know if we have that in English. We have Hayom is today, and Yom Echad is one day, and what will be day?
Called Yom.
2 day, a day, a
In
day,
English,
a
you would
day,
say a day, but
A
a
day.
day sounds like 24 hours.
a day.
In English.
We have, I don't know.
You have
Maybe the
today, a 2 day.
today,
A
1 day,
and a day.
Day is one day.
a
A
day.
day, the
a
day.
day.
Maybe Yom is like the day.
Oh, the day, yeah. You have sometimes the day.
The day. Hayom would literally mean the day. We call Hayom today.
Well, literally
today.
means the day, but that, no, Hayom means 2 day.
Which word
Day
means
of
the
what?
day?
The day of the wedding.
Yom.
Yom is the day.
Shiloh.
Well, the day might mean not the night in English, the day.
Okay,
Wedding, and it's
that's the one
6 hours,
question.
baby.
What's the halakha of Yom? What does Yom mean? Is Yom as if you
People
said
don't
2
speak
day?
like that in Hebrew either, do they? Or
No,
you're saying some people
No,
do.
yeah, that's not the regular way of talking. Kodim shani Tom yain Yom. Shani toim Yom. I don't think it's a regular.
That I speak, that I taste day.
It doesn't sound.
Yeah, it doesn't-
So if someone said that, does it mean 2 day and it's only us until the end of the day, or does it mean a day,
A day.
which is also a whole
day,
24
Or
hours?
the day, meaning maybe. just
What is that day? Well, you don't say
the
that day.
daylight, the
that day.
daylight and not when it gets night.
Again, that's like saying 2 day.
It's like saying 2 day.
Unless you're talking about a different day, it's going to be also a different day for only 12 hours
Oh.
instead of 20. I don't know. Okay, that's the most question. My, what is Allah? Dine ki hayom or ki yom echad? We have a mission that says 2 cases. One is hayom, one is yom echad. And what is the din of yom?
Yom would mean until nightfall. and
What's that?
Hayom is until nightfall and
And
Yom
Yom
Echad would mean
Echad,
24 hours.
right?
When we says Yom.
And our question is yom. Tashma, we must listen. First, the Gemara tries to use our mission, but right away, it's going to say, on one hand, it says the halacha about hayom. So that maybe then implies that yom would be different. But then the Gemara says no, but it says yom echad also. First, the Gemara tries in the beginning. It says in the Mishnah, konim yain shani tom hayom. That's the Mishnah that says hayom. Enos ela ad shetechsha. Then he's also till the nightfall. So we could infer, the word is, we could infer hayom ki yom echadami. The Mishnah doesn't say the case of yom, it says hayom. So that sounds like yom would be different. Only the case of hayom, he say that when he says 2 day, then he's also till the end of the day. If he would have said yom, then it's also for a full day. But says no.
I hear this, but to me, this sounds like a computer. A computer would say, this law is when it says Hayom. Now, this word is Yom, it's not Hayom, so it must be the other case.
No, the question is why the Mishnah chose this. Why didn't the Mishnah say a big chiddush?
Okay.
The way and the Gemara says that you can't be medai because the Mishnah says the other way also. In Maseifa, it says in the Mishnah the case of Yom Echad. Yom Echad, Asim Yom Liyom. The Mishnah, when it wants to say that it's also for 24 hours, it only found the case of Yom Echad. Why didn't it say the din of Yom, Hayom, Ki Hayom Dami? That would imply that if he would have said Yom, it would have also till the night. So you can't be right from Mishnah. Obviously, our Mishnah wasn't trying to tell you this diuk because it has 2 different diukim. You can't bring the proof from our Mishnah because it wasn't coming to tell you this diuk. So we still don't know. We know the din of Hayom, we know the din of Yom Echad, we don't know the din of Yom. Amar Rashi Tashma. So these are right from a Mishnah coming up later on. Over there, it's a different subject. It talks about the Chodesh Ibor. If you have a leap year, is a leap year included in the year? New question. That was not really our subject. What's the name of a leap year? So it says, Konim Yain Shani Toim Hashana. That was the word that he said. He said,
So how do you translate Miha Leika?
you can't infer from here.
Oh, okay.
So we are going on to search. So he brings a mission later on. Konim Yain Shani Toim Hashana. Someone answered himself on wine. Hashana. We're going to talk about Hashana because Hashana is more or less the same as Hayom. Hashana is like Hayom. And we're going to figure out that Hashana is going to mean Shana, maybe, If we could prove that the Mishnah here is lav dafka and means shana, it's a misprint. It really should be shana. So then we're going to be able to find out what the din of yom is. That's just the plan. What we're doing, plan of action. So what's up? But that talks about what do you do about the leap year, the leap month?
No, but if you say Hashanah, then it's whatever that year is.
Then that's like hayom. That's not a chiddush. That's not.
Yeah.
We're going to try to figure out from this Mishnah a case of shana without hashan. Anyway, it says if someone asked himself to drink wine hashana, what's the lach of hashana? Until the end of the year, not a full year, till the end of the year. How about if the end of the month, end of the year was a second Adar, the Sabra Shana, also if it becomes a leap year, so there's also even a leap year also. That's
Like in Teves,
he made something. Teves, right? He's also until
the next Teves.
No. That goes without saying. That's not even a chiddush. That Teves to Teves. If there's a leap year, there's no question that Teves to Teves.
Isn't that what this is?
No, because Hashana means that until the end of the year, not Shana Achas. If he says
this year
is over at the end of the year.
Oh, at the end of the Til Tishrei. Okay, I see.
So,
But Til Tishrei you're going to add two others. Til Tishrei.
yes, I might think, I'm not sure, when you say Hashana, maybe you're right, or maybe Hashana, I forgot, they probably nice later on, is it over by the end of Adar, or is it over by the end of Elul? You're assuming it's over by Tishrei. You're saying Shana means till Rosh Hashanah. You're probably right. That's what the Mishnah says. The Mishnah says about Rosh Hashanah, right? What does it say?
Well, I thought
So,
yours
no,
would go
you're
like-
mamish right. It says Shana Zu is also until Rosh Hashanah, means that the whole year is over. So I got mixed up. I mean, I'm not sure. Then there should never be a difference, but then other surely is included. Other bays is surely included. If you say it's also till the end of the year, so then other is surely included. Other
Because
bays.
you go to Tishrei and it happens
Till
to be
the end
there's
of
only
the
two
year.
others, and you said you're going to go to Tishrei.
Shana Zu. So maybe I should stop here because I'll continue, but let's continue.
Okay,
But I'm not sure about something.
but so right now.
He said, I'm also to drink wine, Hashana. And we know that Hashana means till the end of the year.
Till the end of the year, and if
And
this
what if the
year
end of the
is
year has a leap year? The leap year is included. Asr ba will be ibur. He's asr in it, and also with the leap, with the extra, with the.
With the extra.
That's the Mishnah. And the one wants to analyze the Mishnah. Hey, Chidami, what does the Mishnah mean to say? If you read it as it says, there's no chiddush in that. Surely when you say, I must have till the end of the year, it surely includes
Whatever that year holds.
Adar.
Mhm.
Shame. Ella lav da Omar Shana. It must be that it's a misprint, and it really didn't say Hashana. It said Shana,
Oh, in a year, a normal year.
and the word
growth
Shana.
year is 12 months.
And we're not saying that it's like Shana Achas. Is that true? Alma Shana ki Hashana dami. Yom nami ka yom dine. The Gemara thinks that it's saying that Shana means, even though it said in the Mishnah Hashana, we're going to erase the hay. Where is that? I'm sorry. We're going to erase the hay over here.
Shanitoim Shana.
Right, we're going to erase the hay. Shana. And we're going to say that Shana means like Hashana, and it's also in the leap year. I'm not sure why it's a chiddush anymore. Again, if it means till the end of the year, surely it includes our second Adar. I'm a little shaky over here. I didn't think about this point, but the chiddush of the Mishnah is going to be that Shana is like Hashana. If we're going to be forced to say that you have to erase the hay, because the way it says it is no chiddush, it must be that the chiddush is to erase the hay, and the chiddush is this point that Shana has a din of Hashana,
And that's the chiddush.
No,
and there's nothing, and it has nothing to do with the ibor. It has no chiddush about
No,
no
I think
chiddush to do with
The
the ibor.
chiddush is the washing.
But nothing to-
Shana is Hashana.
Yeah, but nothing to do with the leap year.
no, I think it has to
It's
do with the
washing.
Ibor. The Shana, if he says Shana, it means, and it's in Teves, it means it has to go to the next Teves, right?
So the Moshe is not like that. I would have.
And then we're gonna say, but it's like Hashana, where
No,
for
that-
sure that you'd have the other, so here too, for sure you add. You don't count 12, you count the other.
If you would say Shana Zu, you would not count this year.
No.
Shana Achas. If you would say Shana Achas,
Shana Achas, you might think it means 12 months.
and what are you saying that if you say Shana Achas, it does not include the leap year? You're saying
It does not include it.
And the fact that it says here that it does include the leap year is another way of telling you that it's like Hashanah.
Yeah.
If I could see the rush just for this to see if he says that. By the way, when I'm preparing, I learn the rush. I don't learn the run. The rush seems to be simpler for me. So that's why I'm always going to the rush the whole time. Even though it's in small print.
You're gonna say you're not yeshivish.
None of the name of Shita the Chodesh Ibra Hu B'Chol Hashanah. The name should be Resku Hashanah. Allah Dom Hashanah. Ba'agavuch Kamash Malon Deshana Ke Hashanah. Vein Ose Allah Tashlum Hashanah. Diya V'Kimo Shana Achas. Chimud Neser Ad Toch Shana Acheres. Bizman Hazeh. Mai Nafka Minal Bibur. He doesn't say that. He says that if it would have been Shana Achas, he also would have been Aser. I think.
It would have been us who would.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure. I mean, I think he says that also would have been Aser till the same day, Tarikh, till the same day. If he said Yud Beis Teves, he says that's the next Yud Beis Teves. 12 months Yud Beis Teves, that also includes.
Oh, it doesn't mean 12 months. It means.
If he would have said like
You
you,
mean
then
the
he
date.
have a Kamosh Anachas, Chimud and Aser Atoch Shana Acheres Bizman Hazeh. It sounds like he's saying that it's Aser till Yud Beis Teves. And so then not so clear.
It would be on 2 years.
Then and also would have been us. It means the whole din of Ibor. You were saying that there's Lev Yaakov wanted to say that he wanted to see something about the leap year. He wanted to say Pshat that this whole this mission is telling you a chiddush about the leap year,
It's telling you a chiddush about the wash.
but you have nothing to do with the leap year.
Right.
So well, that's not the way to talk.
No,
he wants to
but-
tell you din of the lashon. Tell me the din of Shana. Don't tell me din about a leap
Why,
year.
you understand it? If the leap year is part of the
No, so
Yeah.
no. So Lev Yaakov was trying to say that the leap year would depend if it's considered this year or leap year. So there's no chiddush in the leap year at all. So that's going to tell me that Shana is like Hashanah. So you should have said it. Don't tell me the about the leap year if there's no chiddush in it. So I'm stuck on this. I don't know. But
Isn't the
more,
Lama Lila Meimar?
what's the chiddush?
What's the Hiddish of the leap year? Isn't that what that means?
Right. It's Pasha.
Oh, and you're saying it's nothing about the leap year, it's only about the language?
Right.
That's our answer.
That's what it seems to say. I would have liked Yom Shad that this is the way to tell you that Shana is like a Shana because the leap year is affected or not.
Yeah.
But the Rush seems, think the Rush says both ways the leap year is
leap year.
included. So then why is this the way to tell you that Shana? Why is this the place to tell you that Shana is like Hashanah?
because if the leap year is included because it's in the middle of the year, so of course that's not an issue. There's no chiddush in that.
And if it's at the end of the year,
It's at the end of the year, so now the chiddush is that Shana and Shana.
but the Gemara doesn't consider that a Chiddush either. The Gemara doesn't consider, if you're saying there's a Chiddush at the end of the year,
No, there's no chiddush.
where's the end of the year? Elul, Tishrei, is there a Chiddush, which way is the Chiddush that leap year is included?
The years until this and May.
No, so not. So the Mishnah said, I thought so. That's why I was wrong. Because the Mishnah says that you go to Rosh Hashanah. When I learned the Gemara, I was thinking in your
That
terms.
Mishnah also said that.
Our Mishnah by
Yeah.
Shana
Was it
Zu.
right from our Mishnah?
Our Mishnah says that it goes to Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is next year, right? That's our Mishnah. So when I learned the Gemara, I was going with this point that maybe it goes till the end of Adar. So,
Oh,
but I saw my cheshbon was working, but it's not true. It goes till Elul. So I'm stuck on this point. Let's continue. Al Mashana Kashana Dami. If we could prove that you erase the hay, and it says in this Mishnah that Shana has a din of Hashana of this year, not a full year. So then, if so, then Yom Nami Ka Yom Dine. If the year is like this year, so day is like this day. But the Gemara says no, leave it the way it is. It's Hashana, and there is a chiddush that leap year is included. Lo, la'olam dama Hashana. Leave Mishnah the way it is. You don't say anything about Shana. It says Hashana. Ma'adatayim halach acharov shanim. V'lo isbuhu ibor. You might think that when a person says this year, it's not so simple that the leap year is included. You might have thought that he meant to say the way most years are. Most years are 12 years. I didn't think about the leap year. So much learn that the year includes a leap year.
he said Hashanah. Oh, because.
And there's a
most-
chiddush. There's a chiddush that the leap year is included.
It's not Pasha.
It's not Pasha. The more thought is Pasha, it's not Pasha.
Okay.
Okay, I have to come back to this again. I hope to clean that up. New Gemara. Iboilahu. Beyond the Mishnah, all kinds of cases today, this week, this month, this year, this Shemitah cycle. We didn't have but the Yovel cycle.
Mhm.
How about if you said a Yovel? When is the
You
Yovel
should
over?
live that long.
You should live. You shouldn't drink wine for
Yes.
50 years. Iboilahu. Amayayin shani toem Yovel. The point is not about Yovel. The point is how Yovel. There was not going into the point about Yovel like Yom and Shana. It means
Mm.
how Yovel. It doesn't mean
The question is,
50
does it
years.
include the Yovel?
right.
The
Not a
50
question. Not that it's 50. Not that it means 50 years. It means till the end of this Yovel cycle. But the question is Yovel part of this cycle, or is Yovel the beginning of the next
Right, he
cycle?
might, let's say he's in the 49th year already.
Right. No, there's no difference. Whatever. Again, he doesn't mean 50 years. There's no
He's in the
question.
49th year.
Or
And we don't know, does he mean the end of the year? Does he mean with Yovel's year?
he's in the 25th year, whatever year he's in. He says, I'm usher to drink wine this Yovel. He's in the 25th year of Yovel. So comes 26, 27, 20, he's doing fine. He's not drinking wine. It comes now the 49th year. And now he wants to know,
Do I have
I
next
have-
year, am I free? or
right,
not?
right. No difference.
So we're
on that.
saying the same thing,
Right. So why did he pick 49?
to make it easy.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how long does he not want to drink wine?
Okay. But the point is that there's no question about that he means 50 years. He surely didn't mean 50 years. That's not the Gemara's question. Did
No,
he mean
it
to say,
means, does it include the 50th year? I agree with you.
okay. So my Shnas Chamishim Kol Fnei Chamishim Lo Kalacha Chamishim. Is year 50 considered part of the previous years, or it's the beginning of the next cycle, the Yovel cycle? Tashma, the Tanya Beflukta the Yehuda Rabbanan. The Gemara says that this depends on the Machlokes of Yehuda and the Rabbanan. What's the Machlokes? So
I'm sorry, how do you, which way is which? Shnas Chamishim Klape.
Kilifnei. 50 is like before, it's like 49.
Or is it
or
like
like before.
40,
It's
50?
part of
It's
the
like before
previous
50, or
Yovel
it's like
cycle.
af-
After.
What's
which-
the olachar? I thought it's
Olachar.
olachar.
Lifnei or la'acher, before or after.
Uh-huh.
So Tashma, there's Machlokes of Yehuda and Rabbanan. Yehuda and Rabbanan are not talking about this subject. They're talking about a different subject. But we're going to learn from them our question. It says, "V'kidashtem eish nasa chamishim shana." That's a pasuk. Maybe we'll highlight it. What the pasuk is? V'kidashtem.
That's a-
I didn't mean to do that. What am I doing?
They have two, you don't have one on each corner. Right outside, by the back.
V'kidashtem eish nasa chamishim shana. That's the pasuk. You should sanctify the 50th year. And the drush is Shnas HaChamishim Atamoneh. You count 50 years. V'Atamoneh Shnas Chamishim V'Achas. You don't read it B'Nashim Achas. Don't read it Chamishim V'Achas. It says you count 50. You don't count 50 and 1. That means that the 50th year is only called 50. It's not called also year 1. There's a side to say that year 50 is year 1 of the next Shemitah cycle. So the Tanna Kama says that year 50 is only year 50, and you don't count it also to be year 1 of the next Shemitah cycle. In other words,
I'm sorry, what's the Yevachas?
I'll say the explanation and then put it into the words. That when you count Shemitah cycles, you count 7. So when you get to the end, you get to 49, you just finish the Shemitah cycle. If there wouldn't be Yovel, then the next year would be the first year of the Shemitah cycle, year 1 of the 7-year cycle. Happened to be Yovel was there. The year after Yovel, is that year number 1 of the next Shemitah cycle? Or do you continue the 7, and
Next
even
two.
and it's already year 2. And Yovel happened to be the 50th year, but it also was the first year of the Shemitah cycle. That's the question. Tanna Kama says, no, it's only year 50. You don't count it as year 1. It's only year 50, and the next year is going to be 1.
I said the next year is going to be the first of the Shemitah cycle.
Right. So you count 50 as 50 and don't count it as 50 and 1. That's how you read the Gemara. Don't count it to be the 50th year and also the first year of the next Shemitah cycle. You can't know. From here they said they learned out.
I thought you said the next year is the first year. You're saying you don't
Right, the
say-
next year is the first year, and don't count the 50th year to be the
Don't
first year.
count, yeah.
That's how you read the Gemara. From here they learn out that Yovel doesn't count for the Shemitah cycle. Yovel ain't over the meaning Shavua. The word Shavua means the Shemitah cycle. Yovel does not count for the Shemitah cycle. The year after Yovel starts the first year of the next Shemitah cycle. But Rabbi Yehuda argues, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Yovel over the meaning Shavua, that Yovel does count for the next Shemitah cycle and is called 50 and also 1.
I thought that was the first one. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Don't count.
The first one says, don't count 50 as also 50 and 1.
Well, don't do that. Uh-huh.
Count 50 as 50, and the next one is 1. The Rabbi Yehuda says
Thank you.
50 is also number 1. So the Gemara is finished already. The Gemara is going to continue a little bit, but as far as the Adrasha, the Gemara is saying, according to Rabbanan, surely year Yovel is surely the end of the Shemitah cycle. It's not considered the beginning. So when someone says, I'm also this Yovel, he's Asa until year, including year 50. But according to Yehuda, what? According to Yehuda, it has to be that it's considered the beginning of the next. I don't know why. It could be. He also could say that it's the end of the previous Yovel. Maybe they want me to say that. According to Yehuda, you can still ask. You might ask. According to Yehuda, maybe it's the beginning of the next. Yovel is the beginning of the next. So when you said until Yovel, you didn't mean including Yovel. I don't know, but the Gemara does say that's Machlokes of Yehuda. According to Rabbanan, surely Yovel is the culmination. The same way Shabbos is the end of the previous week. So Yovel is the end of the previous 50. According to Yehuda, it might be that Yovel is considered the beginning of the next cycle. The Gemara finishes off by telling you this, the source of each one, the mokor, the source of each one. It says in the pasuk that every Shemitah, 6 years you work and 1 year you don't, you rest. The land rests. But according to you, you're not going to have 6 years because you have Yovel, and then you had Shemitah, you have 49, then you had Yovel, and then you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're only going to have 5 years of working till the next Shemitah. You didn't have 6 years of working in that next cycle. It says 6 years you should plant your field. In your case, the year after the cycle after Yovel, you only have 5 years.
Yovel's counted as one, and you didn't work on it, so you didn't work on that.
Right.
Okay.
Then you're just going to work. Year 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
6.
According to you also, there's a case where the Torah is not talking about all years, because it says that Hashem is going to give you bracha, and the 6th year is going to produce for 3 years. When does it have to produce for 3 years? On a regular Shemitah cycle. On a regular Shemitah cycle, you have to produce on the 6th year for the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. I don't understand it. That's what it says. I always thought I didn't shop. When does the field have to produce on the 6th year? 3 years worth. Usually
Regular Shemitah cycle.
Yes. Why?
The 6th, because there's the 6th year, and then it has to go.
Has to produce for itself for the 6th.
For the 6th and the
And
7th.
seventh, and also
for
the
8th. Yeah.
Why the 8th also? Because you can't stop. It doesn't
Start
produce until
Yeah, you start planting on the 8th, but you don't have food yet.
every year. I thought that it produces for 1 year. Now, if you're not working for 1 year, so then you have to have 2 years worth. What do you have to have 3 years worth for? Every year you're eating last year's until you produce this year. So now you have only 1 year that you're not working. So isn't that enough to have 2 year supply? If you get a 2 year supply on the 6th year, wouldn't that be enough to cover Shemitah? It says no, you have to have a 3
No,
year
then at the
supply.
end of Shemitah, you ate up all that food. And
On
now
the 6th year, what did you? And the 6th year, what? And the 6th
The
year, what
6th
did
year,
you?
you ate up for the 6th year.
I didn't eat the 50 years food. What am I doing? Each year I do for itself.
Yeah,
So the 6th I eat for the 6th. The 7th I have no
you had
food.
double on the 6th, so you ate.
Okay,
from
and
the
now
6th.
on the 8th I'll have from the 8th. Not good.
You start working on the 8th, but you don't have any food. It's gonna take months before it makes.
And every
food.
year until the field produces, what food do I have? Every year, the 3rd year, what am I eating until the 3rd year produces?
Okay, you got me.
Well, the 3rd. So I don't understand. The
You're
Gemara
saying
says
it's
on a
from the
regular-
5th year. You're saying that you're eating.
I
from the
think
previous
always,
year.
that's what I think.
Always.
So if you're missing 1 year work, so you have to have an extra year. So I never, so I think Rashi Nechumash, I didn't look it up. I think Rashi Nechumash says that this is a case of the Yovel, that you have.
Yeah,
But the Gemara says
you
not
go
that.
third
Here the
year.
Gemara says that. Here the Gemara says a regular Shemitah year has to have 3 years, threefold, and on a Shemitah you have to have fourfold. How could you have one and you say that you're still one every year, but a person where it says you're gonna have threefold, on a year of Yovel, you're gonna have 4, and that's to produce 4 times as much.
Mhm.
You must say that the pasuk is not talking about every year. You must say that this pasuk is talking about the other cycles, not when it comes out on a Yovel year. You can look so the pasuk asks on me that you get 6 years work. You only get 6 years in a regular cycle, but the cycle after Shemitah, you only get a 5-year cycle. But I have to look up into this because I thought that you only need a 3-year
So
produce.
what do you mean the 5-year cycle?
There were one had a kasha on Rabbi Yehuda. If you say that Yovel counts for year 1, and you only have 5 years of work after that, the pasuk says you have 6 years of work. That was a kasha.
That was
Rabbi
his-
Yehuda is answering that this pasuk is not referring to the cycle. It doesn't have to be every single Shemitah cycle. Yeah, Shemitah cycles you only have 5. The one after Yovel, you're only going to have a 5-year work period. And I'll prove to you, don't say I'm a dochet, because you also have to say that not all the psukim are talking about every year. Because the pasuk that says that's going to produce 3 times as much is not talking about the year of before
Regular
Yobel.
Shemitah.
It's only regular Shemitah, but the year of Yobel is not referring to that, because then you have to have a 4-year produce on the 6th year.
Oh,
So it must be the pasuk is not talking about in all cases. I'm saying this, and my pasuk is also not talking about in all cases. When it says you have a 6-year work period, it's only on a regular Shemitah, not the Shemitah after Yobel. Yes, thank you.
Tomorrow at 7:15.
4 to 7 till 7:25.
4%.
We're a couple of pages ahead, so we could.
Okay.
I can't promise.
Party?
Next week, I don't know if I'll remember, so it's it's our anniversary, I'm gonna be gone Wednesday and Thursday.
Should have much simpler and
What,
having it.
what time tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Shabbos, a 4 to 7 until 7:25.
Okay. Quarter to 7.
You're fine. I just wanted to tell you, thank you for sending me that thing. I took the quiz and they
Okay.
said 17, but really I only got 16.
Okay.
And I got 17, so I don't know. Did you really get 17?
I don't know.
You better check
It
your
did-
email. See if
It
you're
doesn't
really-
give. It doesn't give that. It doesn't give the answer. So yeah, it didn't say which ones I got wrong.
You'll get an email about it. You get an email
Okay.
answers.
Okay.
There's a Hanukkah quiz
Uh-huh.
with 20 questions. And they put you in a prize if you get enough. So he
Thank you.
sent it, so I took it. They said the average is 12. The average, well, the average, I think, the average on Mahoritz gets 12.
Oh, everything is the right one.
And then it said, congratulations, you got 17. And then when they sent me the answers, I see that I got 4 wrong. Well, so how did I get 17?
Did they tell you the right answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell you the right answers.
Oh, so we
What did they
that
say?
you were done 5:17.
What did they send you?
I'll come see you for it.
I don't know if I won. They're gonna enter me in the raffle.